Join me to paint an easy and beautiful winter scene with watercolors. I'm using the wet on wet technique to paint the background. I start by wetting it from the top to about 3/4 of the paper. I'm mixing cobalt blue with a touch of violet to create a soft wash for the sky. Next, I'm mixing burnt umber with emerald green and a small amount of violet to paint the distant evergreen trees. While the background is still wet, I sprinkle some table salt to create interesting textures. Then I used a hair dryer to quickly dry the paper. After that, I gently scraped off the salt to reveal the textured effect. Next, I'm mixing emerald green with violet to paint the pine trees. The pigment consistency is not too thick or not overly diluted, so this helps this kind of consistency helps to keep the paint wet until the pine tree is finished. We are going to paint 4 pine trees. After completing each pine tree, we will sprinkle some salt to add textured effect to the pine trees. The pine tree is still wet, so I'm sprinkling salt onto the wet paint to create a textured effect. Next, I move on to paint the second pine tree. Now, I speed up the process to save your time. After painting all the pine trees, next I'm adding the trunks using a mix of burnt umber and a touch of violet. Next, I'm adding cast shadows for the pine trees using a gray shade. The shadow value fades as it's moved further away from the tree. I'm using the same pigment I use for the sky to paint the foreground. After that, I let the paper to dry completely. To add interest to this painting, I'm going to paint a person going for a walk with their pet dog. The person is painted with crimson lake, followed by their pants are painted with gray shade, and the hair is also done in gray. For the dog, I'm using simple strokes with burnt umber. The dog's leash is painted with gray. Next, I'm adding shadows for the person and the dog. Finally, I will add footsteps in the snow using a gray shade. And that's the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed watching it. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for more watercolor painting videos. See you in next one. Until then, take care and bye bye from Prema.